Welcome back to the East Moriches Podcast with Kags and Kyle, where we discuss kids, technology, and growing up in today's world. I'm Michelle Cagliano, aka Kags.
And I'm Kyle Gordon, aka Kyle. And we have, as you can see, a very special episode today. Our fifth and final episode of the school year. This is our summer kickoff episode. We have two guests with us. As we've been discussing throughout the whole school year, The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, we decided to interview two East Moriches parents about their experiences parenting and trying to reverse the great rewiring, as we've talked about, and give their kids a great childhood.
Yes. So we have Heather Ben-Cosme here and Michelle Fernandez. Both of their children. I had both of their children, 2 children each. I was lucky enough to have both of them. And they volunteered their time to come in. We thank you for coming. And the reason why you came to mind when we were thinking about parents and just interviewing other people is because you have made such a positive impact on your children. I've seen it in the classroom with your own children, and we want that to move forward. Right? So we want to influence other parents to do what you're doing. You're doing such a great job.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
So, Kyle, I think you have the first question.
Oh, wow, I've already messed up. All right. I made the first mistake, guys, so no fresh right.
Well, do you want to talk about yourselves and tell us about how many children you have, what ages?
Sure. You want to go first?
Sure. My eldest son is Clayton. He's 10 years old, and he's going into 5th grade.
And he just won our spelling bee.
Wow.
Proud of him. So proud of him. And then Maybelle is 8, and she'll be going into 4th grade next year. So
Great kids.
they're the best.
They are. And then I have 2 girls. I have Lily, who is currently in 5th grade in our middle school in East Moriches. And I have Lucy, who is with Maybelle in 3rd grade going into 4th next year. So,
yeah. And Kyle, maybe you'll have both of them.
Hopefully. Actually, I will.
You will.
I will.
You will?
I teach every 7th grader.
yeah.
For the most part. So I will have them both. Maybe
So
2
you're going to
years.
get Lily first.
Lily first. So before we get into actual questions about the book, one of the things Michelle and I talked about, the first was how did we get here? Meaning we're on a podcast about this topic. So where do you feel what led you to being, I don't want to say passionate about, but interested in this topic, or really where it's, I'm going to be extra intentional about the way that I raise my kids around technology and parenting in a certain way, and not just letting the culture of the world kind of parent them. If you want to, if there's specific moments or books you read, or just that's always the way that you have.
So I was listening to one of your previous podcasts, and I heard you say something, and it triggered something that I remembered from when my kids were really small. Our pediatrician, when they were babies, said not to face our kids in front of the TV screen. So I remember when they were very, very little, I had this crazy, I was my mom would babysit, I'd run in and I'd turn them around, and they'd have to face against the wall, so they weren't looking at the screens at all. So I feel from the very second they were born, I was afraid of the screen. That was something that was driven into our heads. So we were really passionate about that. And I also didn't want my kids to be on social media. So I never let anybody post pictures of them when they were very young. I never wanted them to be tagged. And then as they got older, I made some really amazing mom friends. And all of us kind of gathered together, and we signed a pledge to wait till 8th. Which
That's
was,
amazing.
I think in kindergarten.
Wow.
And we all did this virtual thing where we signed our pledge, and we all gathered together and said we're not going to get our kids smartphones until they're at least in 8th or past 8th grade.
And that's really the point, right, of this book and of this movement, right,
Yeah.
is to wait. They don't need it so young, right? And if you can get that group together, you guys have an amazing group.
Yeah.
We want other parents to feel like they're not alone and can also do the same thing. That's amazing. I didn't know that.
So good.
I love that. I grew up in an age where we didn't have technology, so I'm still stuck back there. And I've always been into brain development, child development, and I'm fascinated by neural pathways, and so I'm always looking at that. And I just decided early on we would read, and they didn't watch TV for the first year until I had the second one. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I need TV. Well, and ever since then, it's just kind of built off of that.
Mhm.
And Clayton now is 10. So 10 years ago, technology wasn't
Right.
as advanced. So
Yeah.
back then I was like, okay, whatever. Now it's so intense that I'm really happy that we've already put that
Mhm.
guardrail in place.
Yes,
Mhm.
because it's so much easier to not start at all than to
Mhm.
give it and then take it away.
Yeah.
You know, so like you're really on the right track
Yeah.
because they don't know any different.
Right.
This is their
Mhm.
life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like my son, I gave in when he was in 5th grade, and now it's like, how do you pull back? It's really hard, you know. So I
Mhm.
wish I had waited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Heard
it.
that.
It is funny because I think, I don't know if the episode has come out yet, but I think it was in our last episode we plugged the wait until 8th.
We did
Yeah.
our best.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I feel like a kindergarten, they should just be like, all right, get your group of friends. And then
Yeah.
if you all like commit to it, it makes it so much easier
Yeah.
because like my older daughter, her friends are in the grade above her.
Mm-hmm.
So all of them, they have no cell phones.
Right.
The children in her grade, a lot of them do have cell phones. And it becomes that struggle where she's kind of missing out on different social situations
Mhm.
where, you know, if all the kids decide they want to wear shorts to school tomorrow and she doesn't get that text because she doesn't have a phone,
Mhm.
Right.
she comes in with pants. And that, you know, it's something little where she's missing, but it's something that does kind of affect her.
Yeah.
It makes her almost like a little bit of an outcast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's part of navigating the whole
Totally.
thing. So
Then in the long run, I think it'll be better for her.
I think so too. I hope so.
So what do you think your biggest struggle is as a parent when it comes to technologies and screens besides FOMO?
Yeah.
Missing out. What do you think?
I was going to say that navigating being set apart is difficult because the world tells you that you should be acting this way, you should be doing this,
Mhm.
and they're so easily influenced by everything around them, what they're seeing and what they're taking in. So having to counteract that and say it's okay for you to be an individual, it's
Mhm.
okay for you to not do these things, and I'm here to help you navigate that. I think that's hard because this is my first time.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, so I think trying to figure out what's best for our family, what's best for our children, and keeping them content
Yeah.
in that.
Mm.
Yeah. Good answer.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Nailed
And I think even like you said, it is hard too, because it's like right now, like my son is 16 months old. So I have all these great lofty ideas of what we will and won't do. And then it's like, then you're, like you said, like, this is my first time being a parent too. Like, this is like every time they get to the next stage, this is my first time parenting an 11-year-old, first time parenting a 12-year-old first. So, you know, and then with every kid, again, I don't have 2, so I don't know, but like being a teacher and seeing siblings and being like,
Yeah.
whoa, you are not like your older brother. Or sometimes like, wow, I'm going to call you your sister's name because you just, you know, spitting image type things. But there is that thing of like, everyone's doing their best with what they have. And, you know, by the time you're like a 20-year veteran of being a parent, like, they're on, you know, so you have, you know, not in a sad way, you have one shot, but almost like, yeah, just making the most of it. And like, kind of like you said, Michelle, like, this is our family. So it's like, if I only have one shot with my kids, like, why would I give into the peer pressure of like, this is what everybody else is doing?
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
I really like that. So maybe on a more positive side, what are some things that you feel like, all right, when it comes to this, like that, the technology, the screens, that you and your family do well, or you something almost maybe like you're proud of? Like, I'm proud that like with my kids, we do this, or we decided not to do this. I know you spoke a little bit about that, but anything that comes to mind when it's like, oh, one thing I like that our family does blank this way.
I don't know. I think when we, like as a family, for me, you know, we don't, I'm not saying no video games and stuff in the house, but we'll play them together as a family. So we kind of
fun.
experience that together. I'm really very open with my kids. I kind of tend to talk to them like they are adults. So a lot of times they'll hear me say, you know, the reasons why we don't have cell phones is because it could be damaging, or, there's all sorts of reasons behind it. And I think that being really open with them helps, and they can pinpoint and see things that they don't want to do as well. So like, it's funny because we read the book The Glow Kids, and one of the pieces in there, he talks about how he's in a foreign country and kids are just playing on the computer. And I think I spoke to my kids about that, and we went on vacation and there was kids sitting on the beach on their phones. And it was this beautiful landscape. And I'm like, how are they not seeing this? So they will look and be like, that's so sad that kid's doing that right now. And then they tend to focus more on what activity we're doing, and they like to talk about it and really acknowledge kind of their surroundings, and I think that really makes it more worthwhile.
Totally. I want to highlight something that I know that you've done because we've talked about it with your family having a landline.
Oh yeah,
I think I spoke about that on the last podcast too, but maybe go into that a little bit.
For Lily's birthday this year, a bunch of her friends, the same group of moms who took the pledge together, they all started getting landlines for their kids.
Like the old school with the coil. Not even cordless?
One got a cheeseburger, one got, like the big lips, like the fun landline phones. I got Lily, because she didn't have the nostalgia of it, so she got a cordless phone with an answering machine. And we got, it must be like some old lady's old number. Because it's literally all she gets is phone calls from like doctor's offices, like, you're missing your appointment. But it's the excitement of running to the phone and picking it up, and and that's where it's kind of nice, because when her friends do have cell phones, they can call her and talk to her. One of her friends was trying to get her to play something, and he was texting her on her landline, and his mom called me and she's like, he's trying to call Lily or text her, Lily. And I'm like, you can't, it's a landline. Only call her. There's no text going on. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But that's been really fun for her. And I think it's so important because I know for myself, calling and making a reservation can be difficult because it's so easy to do it online. So it's like a skill I've lost, is like talking on the phone. So for her
skills, right?
to be able to pick up the phone and call someone and be, is so-and-so home? Those are really big like skills,
life skills
for kids to know, So I think it's kind of nice.
Absolutely.
To be able to have
We should bring back that rotary phone.
I know. Oh,
Should
love it. Could you imagine?
Did you even know how to test? Because you got younger.
No.
I know. It's so funny. So what do you think is the biggest struggle in not giving in to your children for screens and devices as they get a little bit older? Have you gotten any pressure from them? Like, do they want phones? Do they ask you for them?
My kids don't.
No.
I think
Not even
because it's
Clayton.
been set already.
Yeah.
Clayton is a little bit missing out. There's like a group chat.
Yeah.
So he was like, Mom, I want to be on the group chat. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I didn't want him to miss out on certain things like wearing shorts to school or whatever. And
It's a big deal.
I said, well, just give him my phone number.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, just give him my phone number. And then I didn't realize it was 16 kids on the chat. And
So
I
they're
was
all texting
like,
you.
oh my gosh. But really, you know what? They FaceTime and they try and like talk to each other when they're playing video games or something.
Yeah.
So I'm not really getting any calls. I thought it was going to be more aggressive, but
Mhm.
it's not. So I think the hardest part for me is knowing when to pull back or say you can do certain things and you can't do other things, if that makes any sense. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest struggle is determining like when is it okay to say, sure, get on the iPad. We have a family iPad and you have 5 minutes to just see if anybody's hanging around and catch up. And at first I was like, you have to do it right when you're sitting right next to me and like, don't put the camera towards me. Like there's all these like, stipulations. And they're just saying like nicknames for each other and, the spelling bee, they were probably like, you did so good. We're so proud of you. So it's really cute to hear them speak in their little languages. Yeah.
I think it's cool that for both of you guys, like in different ways, it's like, because a lot of times the conversation is like, it's all or nothing. You give your kid a smartphone with no boundaries and they can download whatever apps they want, or nothing at all. And like, there is like a healthy middle ground of like, it's one of those things of like, you're not going to like never give your kid any sort of technology until they leave the house. Right. Like, but at the same time, like, it's all about like what's developmentally appropriate, which when they get to be 5th grade, 6th grade, like talking with their friends, like without mom sitting right next to me, like that is something that you calling somebody else. Hey, Mr. So-and-so. Hey, Mrs. So-and-so. Can he come to play? Can I talk to so-and-so? But it's not to just be like, here's everything that's on the internet in your pocket right now, you know? So it's like, but I do think a lot of parents feel that thing of like, well, if I'm going to get them a phone, I get them an iPhone 17 and like, here you go, you know? But there is a lot of middle ground where you can say like, no, we're going to build up to you having that freedom just like you would with anything else. Like, you're not going to give your 12-year-old the keys to the car, you know, like, or even your 15-year-old. Like, there's like a slow process to build. And like both of those examples are like great examples of that. I love that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I did also when my oldest first started riding her bike by herself. I was super nervous because I am very overprotective, which I've learned more since rereading The Anxious Generation again. But I did get Lily a Gizmo watch, which is one of those smartwatches that will track her GPS, and she can call or text me and my husband. So that I feel like gives me a little bit of like, okay, you can go off and do what you need to do, but at least she can call me in case of an emergency, which I feel like is
She's not holding it.
yes.
Yeah.
So that
And you're letting her explore and you know, go into the world a little bit. Give up that control, which is so hard.
it's so hard. Yeah.
That's like the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Is to like trust other people, but like we have to, right? In order for them to become healthy adults.
Which actually, sorry, I'm going to jump off that because one of the other questions I had was sort of like shifting away from the phone screen time thing of like, how do you guys now having kids who are like preteens? I don't know if that scares you to say that word.
Tween.
But like, so like in your experience, like our culture of safety is even like you said, to like let them ride their bike. Like, how do you feel like that almost like in the book, he does mention it's like the safetyism came first so that when the technology came, it made it like, well, if my kid's inside, he's playing video games, he's talking with his friends online, that's safer than him riding his bike to the park. So how do you guys feel like your balance of like, all right, it's good for me to like let them out of my sight for a little bit, but also like, it's hard.
It's so
in the, you know, when you think of like the physical safety versus, you know, the, like we talked about the, you know, the dangers of online, even if they're sitting in your living room right now.
But they're talking to online, right? Because that could be dangerous.
I think that's more dangerous. I mean, the kids were at the bus stop today and I pulled away and I was like, bye. And then in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to be the last time I see them? No, it's not. What are the statistics? You know, like you start unraveling. And so I was like, just stop. Nothing's going to happen to them. The bus is going to come in 2 minutes. It's totally fine. And then I was thinking about my husband, and my husband would say, statistically, no one's going to come and grab them in the morning when they're at the bus stop. So that's a very low chance. So that made me feel better. And then I think about kids online and the predators online and how they just slip into it and they're very secretive about it. You don't know if anything's going on. And that to me is more dangerous than them riding their bike with their friends or riding to their friend's house and riding around the neighborhood. I want that for them. So as I'm progressing as a parent, I'm able to let go a little bit more of that freedom because I know I wouldn't want them home being isolated.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And even to go along with that, like one thing that I think he mentions in the book is this idea of like, you're not just being like, hey, here's a bike, 6-year-old,
Go.
see it. You know, it's like you also teach your kid to recognize dangers in the real world. Like when we were young, like don't talk to strangers, or like not necessarily don't talk to strangers ever, but there is a difference between like, there's this person, do you know what time it is? Like, I need to call my mom, but I need to be home by this time. Versus a person who's like hanging around at the park. He doesn't have kids. He's on his phone. Looks like he's taking pictures of like, you know, and if you can teach your kids that, it's like, all right, well, I know my kids are equipped to be like normal, regular adults. And then something's a little bit off maybe, or just something's creepy and I'm not going to approach that person. Or if they approach me, I'm going to go versus there's a mom at the park pushing her kid on the swing. I can ask her for help or for whatever, you know, like,
Right.
and I think that's the thing too, is to be like, well, if I let my kid go to the park, what's going to happen? But just like you would teach them anything else, you teach them like, how do you behave in public? How do you recognize things that are normal, not normal in public?
I was
Um,
in the airport a few months ago, and I heard a lady say to her son, if you see a woman in a denim jacket, just go up to her and ask her because she's probably a teacher.
It's so funny to think this. Just like a worker who has a uniform denim jacket.
That's really funny,
Yeah,
actually.
that is
Or
so
what's
funny.
the new, what's like the like rubber looking
The
bag,
bog
the bog
bag.
bag.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
bog
If you see a
bag.
woman with a bog bag,
Yeah.
you can ask her for
And
that.
they're
Really
Yeah.
strong
funny,
too
too.
because those are heavy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're carrying that around, you got some
So
That's
the
all, yeah.
muscle.
so funny.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming. I mean, this was a great conversation, right? So in many of our episodes, we talked about starting small, right? Making changes, small changes that can grow and become bigger. And I think that you too are really doing that. So thank you.
Thank you.
But one more question I had really quick while you were talking was you have that agreement, right? Wait till 8th. So when they are in 8th grade, what's the plan? Like, is it like a
Mm.
flip phone? Like what? Maybe you can inspire others. What have you guys talked about it? Do you
I
know?
don't know yet. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess we'll see when the time comes. I feel like I'm very open with my kids. So I feel like when the time comes, hopefully I'm giving them all of the tools to be safe on their phones.
Yeah.
Today, actually, I went to the dermatologist and they were telling me the dermatologist was saying that her little sister has a phone. She's 14 years older than her sister.
Mhm.
And she has an app on her sister's phone that monitors everything she does.
It's like bark or something.
like-
I've seen something like that.
Quidozo or something like that. I don't know what it was called.
Yeah.
But it gives her like alerts when there's
Mhm.
something dangerous that her
Yeah.
sister's looking up, like if it's something that she shouldn't be.
Right.
And I was like, that's kind of an
That is a good
interesting.
idea.
I don't know if I want to like take away their freedoms
Yeah.
and be like
Okay,
a
that's
snoop
absolutely,
inside
yeah.
of their thing, but maybe if I told them when their first year when they have
Mhm.
it and monitor everything that they're kind of looking at in that
Yeah.
way, that might
Mhm.
help. And
Mhm.
not, yelling at them for looking at stuff, but educating on them on why
Yeah.
it's could be potentially dangerous.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do something like that. I don't really know yet.
Yeah.
The time will tell.
I
Yeah.
know.
Quite a few years
And the
away
ways
still.
change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
You don't
that's
know.
a good point.
Yeah. I know personally, I deleted all of my social medias in January.
Good for you.
So, and it's been really good for my mental health. I
Mhm.
feel like it's been so stressful. And it's funny thinking about how worried I was about my kids. I feel like sometimes those community posts in Facebook or things,
Yeah.
they make you think that there's someone literally on every corner doing
Yeah.
something bad.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's not the case.
Yeah.
And so not knowing kind of helps
It does,
because
because think about back in the 80s, right? Or even before that, before technology even came out. No one knew,
Yeah.
like
No one knew anything.
it's a little bit more
it
helpful.
kind of make
Mhm.
it's not in your face all the time.
Yeah.
So you don't
So I'm always like super cautious, but like not as worried. Like
Right.
I'm not, we live in a nice,
it's safe.
safe area right
Mhm.
now where,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be fine riding their bikes
Yeah.
and doing things. So
Mhm.
we'll see. I don't know. What are your thoughts for cell phones in the future?
I just don't even want to think about it.
It's like never.
I know it will come one day, and how is that even going to be
I don't know.
in a few years?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I would like to have my flip phone back, actually,
too.
and
Yeah.
like over all the messages and all the things. and-
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe we'll all get one.
Yeah.
Make it
Started
cool.
Which quick
Yeah.
the light phone is one to look into.
The light.
It's called the light phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a sponsored ad. This is my national
You
opinion.
want to pay us?
I've been wanting. I might get it for years. I've wanted it. The nice thing about it, depending on your carrier, you can use it as you could get it, and that's your phone, or you can have it with like an iPhone, and sometimes you use the iPhone, sometimes you use that. So it almost is like it's your same number, but it just has it. They don't call them apps; they call them tools. So it's just you have your phone call, you have messages, you have a calculator, they have like a basic maps. They have like there's literally like 12 tools that they have. That's it. So you can have a phone, but it's not, and it almost is like the Kindle screen, like the it's not like backlit as much, but that's like almost like a medium thing of like, oh, I want to get rid of my phone, but like I need Spotify
Yeah.
or I need
Yeah.
my Maps app. Like if we go, things like that. So that's one to look into.
Yeah, that would be a good transitional phone, probably. For
Yeah.
kids.
That's a good
Yeah.
suggestion.
Right.
So as we wrap up here,
Yeah.
one thing that we usually do are 3 key takeaways, which obviously we didn't have written out because we didn't know where the conversation would go. But the biggest thing that like for me, like in talking to both of you, is like what made a huge difference is like the community of other parents on the same page. And I think even in like looking at like our last episode, which will come out soon, when we talked about like some of the solutions, the 4 new norms, it really is all it's like collective action.
Yeah.
Where if you are the only one, it is going to be hard, and your kid, unfortunately, like in some cases, will be left out. Now that might be for the better, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be hard for you and for them. But when you can have a community, even if it's just a couple other people, you can always be like, well, so and so doesn't have a phone. Why don't you call them? Like, you know, it's like that. It really does. With I mean, with a lot of different things, community is such an important thing. But I feel like with this specifically, when you're talking about like, well, what can I do? What can I do? There's probably a lot of people who feel the way that you guys feel and just don't know that the other parents feel the same way.
Right. Just making me think, like, even like kindergarten orientation, like, or, you know, when they bring them in, like, have a conversation and maybe sign that agreement if what wants to. So, you know, like, okay, this is my group. Like, this is my group of parents who are like minded, who agree that we should work together. And start it from there. Like, every school district can do that. Right. You know?
Yeah.
Start them little.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, for your input. It's great to get it. And I also appreciate that both of you are not like, I have it all figured out.
Okay.
There was a lot of like, I don't knows, but in a real, like in a good way of like, you know, it's like, this is what we're doing. It's working right now. Who knows in 2 years, but like,
But it
so,
feels right now.
yeah, exactly. So we appreciate that. Thank you as always to Chris Ficcaro for setting everything up, editing, Peter Burns, Superintendent Dean Middleman, Emily Ike for all your support. We appreciate you guys so much. And for all of our listeners and viewers, thank you for tuning in and
Thank you.
a great,
Have a great summer.
let me go back. Sorry, I stumbled there. Have a great summer.
Thank you.
All right.